Right, we've got an illegal one in our hands. This is the Cobra Sz400 SZ Unlimited. So this driver has too springy a face. You can still buy them. Obviously you can still play with them in recreational golf. Let's test it. Let's see what we get out of it. I'm going unlimited. Right, I paid £32.90 for this driver. That included £7 of postage, so I actually spent around 25 quid on this driver. Now you got the 400, you also had a 440, which I think was not unlimited. Now I've tried to do some research on what the COR is of this driver that makes it illegal, but I can't really find that info on it. But this was an illegal driver. It was known, you know, it became illegal, I think, during its release, or was it released when it was illegal? I'm not sure. Maybe post comments down below, actually, you can let me know. I do remember there was like a crossover, I think, people bringing them back, and then, you know, because they wanted to get the legal ones so they could play in their club competitions, but I might be wrong. Post comments down below. It's a 400cc, so it's quite a nice small head, even though it's very deep, so you do get a lot of club face down by the ball. It's a fixed neck, and this was during the Acushnet days. I think this was when Cobra with Acushnet. So it has a lot of kind of game improvement, recreational elements to it. Something where maybe Titleists don't always excel in, because people often would associate them to better players clubs. It's actually not true. They make clubs kind of for every standard, to be honest. But that is the reputation they've got. So Cobra was like their everyone can game it, slightly cheaper brand within a brand at the time. I think it still was at this point. The unlimitedness of it will be interesting to test. I'm looking forward to doing that. It's got the stock shaft in it. I've got an Aldilla. It's a 60-gram stiff shaft in this one, the stock shaft that came with this club. And it's got the grip. We'll talk more about the grip when we get outside. Came with the sock head cover at the time. Pretty good nick. The head cover's in better nick than the grip, and there's no holes in the sock. It's quite impressive of its time. It does smell a little bit, it was like it was a smoker who had this club maybe before me. Let's send some down the range to kick us off. I always think these drivers, I remember selling loads of these and students coming with these. This was such a big seller. It's like this driver's on set, so the neck joins like way back of where the face feels. So never really felt they looked nice. I do like the old Cobra snake on top with the crown. I do remember that logo, and I don't mind the little dimples at the top. It's more just how forward set that face is, and I would guess that's sitting maybe a degree or two closed. You got to remember this was Titleist owned these at this time, so it was an Acushnet brand, I think, at this time. So they had their player ones in Titleist. Right, let's send some. Bit of a high toe, it'll be interesting to see how that one performs. Yeah, that's doing all right for direction. A little bit out to the right, but not too bad. Felt like I hit that good. Oh, wow. That is straight, that is long. And I'll be honest with you, the sound is fine. It's not too crazy loud. I was expecting this one to be loud. I couldn't remember what kind of sound it made, and in this feeling of the smaller head, it feels like I can get some speed with it. Biggest thing I'm learning from this series is none of you buggers get your grips changed. The grip is shocking. And nearly every one of the drivers I've had that's come through has got the original grip on. Like, they're so cheap to change, and it makes an old club feel so much better. I remember when I worked in pro shops assistanting, trying to persuade people to put new grips on, they just would never do it. Again, that feels gameable. Is that coming back, or is it staying out there? A little bit down the right, but not bad at all. Do like the sound of this. We've got some numbers going on, peoples. Giddy on up there. Oh, I'm limiting myself. That is mental. Don't like the way the face is so forward of the neck. Don't care about that if I was getting these numbers though. I always think it's interesting how persuaded people can or can't be in their golf purchases. I always can be persuaded. The numbers are good. I'll have it. I literally don't care what it looks like. Again, that's arrow and good. I'm just enjoying it. I'm going to go one more and then we're going to go to the fairway. Again, no reason why I couldn't hit fairway with this. I think you're seeing that across all of them. I do think, I'm going to test them all against each other. Let me know in that comment section down below if you want to see that. I'll test them maybe over a 5-day period, get a really big data set, and we can crunch down in to see what actually is coming out of each one. You know, get like 50 shots of each one over a few days. These are almost like initial tests to see what I can get out of it, and that's not a great shot and it's doing okay. Let's get to the fairway. I mean, dispersion of them is good. Can I knock them down a fairway with an illegal driver? I changed holes again. This one is a stunner. Right, 10th Pebble Beach. Bunkers up the left, ocean down the right. Long par 4, so you do need to send them and you need to hit them straight. Sounds so gameable. That is a good number. Is that staying far enough left? Yeah, that's decent. Look how close the water gets to that fairway. That is not pitching miles away from the line, is it? Is that high necky, that one? 262 on that. And it's going to end up on the line, isn't it? Oh, just crosses it. So I said this in the other videos, I'm taking the data that I'll present to you at the end of this from the iPad. This is just for the fun of hitting the fairway or not, because that's got up and downhill. So I will give you dry ball data, so just flat range at the end. All the clubs have been captured the same way, even though I dot different holes. If you've been watching the whole series, all the numbers presented comes from the iPad at the end. I felt like it that good. I don't know if it's too far right. Yeah, it's just going to hold on, is it? Yeah, this is such a pretty hole. Get on that fairway. Again, that's decent. A little bit further right. That might not catch. Stay up. Oh, that is flirting with. Oh, I need to aim a little further left, don't I? Try to give it a bit more speed. No, I've kind of hit a low spinny duck hook. So high toey strike there. I'll get away with that, but dippy toey hook strike. One more then. Like I say, not loving the looks, but I could hit fairway with this. You can see I'm like mucking around trying to send them far and hit fairway. I'm impressed with this one so far. Right, same shot as the last with a better strike really, would be nice. Because that felt like that was not going to go as far right if I just didn't toe it. How's that doing then? Yeah, that's spot on. Not my longest, but that is straight. Loving it. Yeah, impressed, to be honest with you. Very impressed with that. Should we go and check out the numbers? So if we start here with my fairway, all down the range, I've actually marked them fairway, and you'll see at the top here I've marked fairway real because I marked them both as fairway. So down the range, I averaged 268. 25 quid driver. 274 and a 280 and another 274, and yes, that's a 280. That's a 280. If you look at my maxes and minimums, 252, 265 average, 280 topping out. You can see my dispersion up here. These are all the shots up here that you're seeing. Wow, like just pretty good. Spinning at 2.4. Lowest spin down the range was 2000. Highest spin 3.1, that was the necky cutty one I think, which performed well for direction, just got my, you know, not as great numbers out of it because of the way I struck it. Then when we're trying to hit fairway, 263, so it came down a little bit. I didn't get any of the 280s when I was trying to hit fairway. 267 I think is my longest in there, shortest down there at 256, spinning at 2.3, so 300 revs less than the other tests. But if we take out that 1-2 in there, 2.5 and 2.4, look how close it gets, because I got that really low spinner high toe strike when I was trying to hit fairway, which was that duck hook onto the path where the spectators would have been. Ball left. Ball speed 153, top ball speed 157. 157, two 157 ball speeds in there. Wow. Like, if you are recreational golfing, playing with mates, not playing in competitions, that is pretty good, isn't it? For 25 quid. New grip, like, you're going to spend less than 50 quid. You got a driver that's going to give as good a numbers as anything else. Maybe in the comments down below, let me know what the COR reading, if you know what it is on this driver compared to where it stopped. I think I know where it stopped. I know what the reading is. I'm not off the top of my head, but I've seen it before. And it'll be very interesting. Maybe we could get a legal version of this and test. Was it just a really good driver, or was it super springy, which is giving me some of my longest ever hits, like 3 in a row. If I could get it up into the 275 averages, like, I'd go. I never play in competitions. I would have limited it all day, wouldn't I? Pretty good numbers. Post comments down below. What do you think? 25 quid. As always, if you're looking at a new driver, look, these are good options when we don't know what money we're going to come out the other end of all this lockdown and everything with the virus, where we go, with any jobs and all the rest of it. You can have a lot of fun on a golf course spending not that much money. If you want to get the best clubs for you, getting custom fit, which often will require you getting new ones, because then you're going to dial in all the options. You know, I'm getting a club with a bad grip, easily placed and quite cheap. I've got a look that I don't particularly like. You know, I don't like that onset, but then the numbers do, you know, they fall into my bracket, so I could game it. Obviously, the unlimited part would probably get me a little unstuck as we play around the world. But also, I'm pretty much, you know, I've tested clubs for so long, I can kind of get them spec for me, and I'm pretty unaffected by different clubs. I can even get, if I get the wrong loft, I can still get them to perform because I can deliver slightly differently. If you are a bit more fragile as a golfer, you know, this might take you 2 or 3 goes to get one that you like, with the loft, with the sound and the way it sits, that suits your eye and the way you deliver, all those kind of things. So I don't think this is any competition for custom fitting if you've got the money to spend in that department. No, I would go that way all day long for myself. But if you don't care about custom fitting, if you don't care how much you spend, or you want to spend less and you don't care if you get custom fit, I mean, I'm finding some pretty good clubs here, aren't I, that are performing very, very well. Let me know in that comment section down below. Again, if there's another club you want me to try, a classic one that I'm missing out, let me know down there. As always, stay safe. Speak to you all soon.